Your time to shine is a chance for you to explore your own divine gifts. It seems as if we have lost Julie. Hopefully she will come back. So tonight we had a really interesting conversation that we would like to have with everybody. And it's about if your children are experiencing some psychic gifts and experiences with whether it's seeing ghosts or having dreams and visions. And Julie and I wanted to share ways that you can support them, keep them feeling safe, and hopefully help them retain their gifts. Because oftentimes when children get older, for whatever reason, whether it's culture or friends, they sometimes lose their awareness of their gifts. So Julie and I really see the importance of how you can support your children. So what do you think, Julie? Ready to start our show?
I am.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in fact, it's interesting because my daughter, when she was very young, started out with some intuitive gifts, and she would talk about the good witch that would come to visit her and how the good witch helped her and all of the other babies. And then as she got a little bit older, even though I tried to continue the conversations with her about it, sometimes she would be open and willing to talk about it. And then she got to a point where she's like, Mom, really? I don't believe in that kind of stuff. You know that. So I'm like, okay. And, now she's starting to come back around again. So, it's how can we support our kids when they're going through this and they're hearing all of the naysaying that's going on in the school, or their friends telling them that they're weird and they got to stop imagining things. And so it's not unlike a lot of times what we do for our own, right? So if your son or daughter comes in and they're complaining of a headache, and you just talked to Bobby down the street and he was complaining of a headache, you need to ask your child, well, do you think this is yours? And explain, well, Bobby just had a headache, and now you're saying that you do. Maybe you're really feeling Bobby's headache. It's really not yours. And show them how to get rid of that. Say, return to sender to get rid of that. So there's all kinds of little ways that you can talk to your child and help them go through this process. Darlene, have you heard of any other ones?
That one was like top on my list, return to sender. Because often what's happening with these children is they're having it's the overwhelm. It's being overstimulated by everything that's surrounding them, and they're energetically picking up on that. So yeah, absolutely. One of the first steps to take is to teach them how to subdue the overwhelm, but still enhance the gifts. So if they are experiencing something like a headache, especially if their friend just mentioned they had one, or if they come home from school and they're anxious, even something like depression, it may not always be somebody else's, but you get them used to talking to and communicating with their own bodies. So, okay, is this yours or is it somebody else's? And if you start that at a young age, they'll start to be able to decipher whether it's them or if it's an energy that doesn't belong to them. And again, with adults too, something like that takes practice. It's like a muscle, building a muscle. And even if they don't know either way, saying return to sender with consciousness will help. And then they can get a sense of if the headache goes away or the anxiety or, whatever it is that's bothering them. If return to sender works, that's awesome. and then you can go from there and teach them other tools. And another tool on the top of my list is teaching them that they have all the potency. Nothing can control them or be more powerful than them. So that would be in the case of children seeing spirits or ghosts, having nightmares in their dreams. So one of the first things is teaching them they have total control over anything that shows up in their lives. And to teach them, if they don't like it, if it's a feeling that they don't like experiencing, tell it to go away. And be very casual with them about it. And having the adult not show fear or worry is key. So if you stay calm and relaxed, that will teach your children to also be that way, to not fear these gifts, but to actually start appreciating them and learning that there's ways to work with them.
Right. Also, your child might be experiencing a little bit of the ringing in the ears. That can also be a sign that spirit is trying to communicate with them. Of course, always make sure that you take them in and you get them checked out medically to make sure there isn't a medical issue that's going on with the ears. But a lot of times the ringing in the ear is just spirit's way of communicating with us. And so, like Darlene said, it's teaching them that they have the potency and the power, and that what they are experiencing is okay, and they're safe. You can teach your child to ground simply by telling them to imitate a tree, to put their feet on the ground and pretend they have roots coming out of their feet and going down into the earth. And then tell them to open up their arms and make their arms look like branches. And then breathe in and out, and ask them if they can feel the energy of the earth. So just simple little things that you can start teaching your children at a very early age. How to ground, that it's okay to tell spirit to slow down, right? If they can't understand, slow down, or this isn't a good time to talk right now. So there's all different tools that you can do to help your child in communication, so that they don't get overwhelmed and then pretty soon they just shut their gifts off because they don't know how to deal with that world, and how to participate, and then how to be in part of this world, of this human world, at the same time.
Right. And also, again, taking all of this casually and not making it a huge deal. Sometimes you do that as adults, make something enormous. So when we're just casual about it and comfortable and making them feel comfortable, they'll be more likely to talk about what's going on and create a safe place for them to communicate. And what's really cool that you can do is letting them know they're not the only ones that experience this. And wherever you can, find resources for them. And so they can see, or maybe find out where there's other children they can talk to. With the internet, especially Facebook, there may be so many different places you can go and take them, read some books with them, for them. There's a couple of books actually that I've read that you can look into. One is called Raising Intuitive Children, and it's written by Carol Goody and Tara Patterson. And what I can do is actually on our Facebook page, For Time to Shine, I'll put some more titles of books if people are interested in, if they're raising intuitive and psychic children, so they can go to some resources. I know it's something, depending on where you are in the world, it's not something you can openly talk about. So to know that there are resources out there is comforting for the adult and the child. And also, if you're wanting them to retain these gifts, and not let culture necessarily have, be judgmental. Again, just take it casually and gently be inquisitive about their gifts, and not to force them to use it. I mean, so even no matter what it is that the child is awesome at, whether it's playing soccer or, whatever the case may be, good in school, let them find what it is they want to do and keep at whatever that is. So just because a child may be really awesome at soccer, it doesn't mean they'll become a professional soccer player. So just like with their psychic gifts, it may not be something they choose to be a main force of their life in adulthood. So just be, gently let them choose what it is they want to do. That's really helpful with anything when you're talking about children, because kids will resist if you push whatever that may be. Yeah. So, and it's such a special, beautiful gift, especially if they're able to communicate with spirit. Spirit loves that. Ghosts, passed over loved ones. It's a great way to communicate. And before we take callers, there was one more thing I want to suggest. Julie, you might have another one too. Ask them what it is that they require. So if it's something, like they are not sleeping well at night because, spirit is coming to them, or they're afraid to close their eyes because of the dreams they're having, ask them what they need. Is it a nightlight? Is it maybe some crystals in their pocket, to help them feel supported and safe? You can teach them to call in the angels. I still do that. I call in the angels and work with them and have them surround me. And, do meditations with them before bed. So asking them what it is that they think they require, because psychic kids know stuff. So, were there any other suggestions, Julie, that you find helpful?
No, I think you pretty much hit on them. I was thinking of the crystals. Yeah, because there's some crystals that you can put under your bed or in between your mattresses that help calm and with sleep. And so you can. I don't know what those are off at the top of my head, but you can always look them up online and find out what those are.
Right. Definitely. Yeah, those were some really cool resources. And there was one more too that I thought would be fun, especially if it's an older child, like preteen. Mm-hmm. If you sit down and journal with them, or have them, they can create and turn it into a story that they want to share with the world, or start a blog. Make it something that they can actually integrate into modern day times. So a blog or something of that nature.
Another good one, kind of on that same topic, is if your child likes to draw. Drawing is a great way. Draw you have them draw what they see, or what they feel. Sometimes it's just an energy, and so you can get some really great things out of just being able to feel the energy, and have them draw it out. It's great therapy too. It's very therapeutic to be able to sit and sketch. So, yeah, some really great things.
And what a great tool for connecting parent with their child, or if it's a niece or nephew or grandchild too.
Right.
So we have a few minutes left to take a caller. That's such a huge topic. So thank you for joining us and listening to some suggestions. We have Shaka in California. Shaka, welcome to your Time to Shine.
Thank you.
Welcome. How is it that Julie and I can support you tonight?
Hi, I wanted to hear some information in regarding to my career and love life.
Is there anything in particular?
Well, as a love life, yes, for a particular person by the name of Sean. As of career-wise, I have applied for several positions, but I was very interested in one position that I applied for on April the 9th, and I wanted to know what does it look like for me.
Shaka, I have to ask, have either you or the gentleman that you're interested in, I see a heart being broken in half. Have either one of you been going through some rough times, or did one of you come away from a broken relationship recently that you're trying to mend?
Currently, right now, we're on a split. We're not seeing each other at this moment.
Okay, that's why I'm seeing the break in the heart. Okay. I'm feeling that it's this one is going to take a little bit of time to mend. There are some deep things between the two of you. I don't know if they were said verbally or they were thought about. But there's definitely some pain around both of you at the moment, and I get the feeling that needs to be resolved before either one of you can move on.
Do you feel it's completely over, or do you think that in the future we'll be able to see each other again?
I don't think it's completely over, but you guys have a lot of work to do. You guys are not on the same level. You are not seeing things eye to eye. And so if that's something that you guys want to do, is to be together again, I think you guys need to have some real heart-to-heart talks about what it is that's important to you, and also try to mend the I don't know if I really want to say disagreements, but that's the only word I can come up with at the moment. But
do you feel it's worth to try to mend, or is it best to go on?
I'm not sure I can answer that right now. What I do know, what I am getting, is that even if you guys decide not to get together again, what it was between you guys, for your own personal reasons, you need to be able to heal those before either one of you can move on. Otherwise, you're going to carry that baggage into the next relationship.
Okay. Okay. And as of, no problem, career-wise?
Hold on. Darlene, did you have anything to add to that?
When you first asked about the job, I started to see a bright light. And then you mentioned April 9th, something about April 9th, and I saw diamonds. I don't know if the job has anything to do with light or diamonds, or unless that means it may be a place where you're going to shine. How about you, Julie? What are you picking up on?
It's a place where you're going to shine. Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. you do see it as a good thing that I will have luck since I apply for that position?
At least one of them. But when you were talking about all of the jobs, I saw lights. And then when you specifically said April 9th, that I started to see diamonds.
Okay.
So
because I applied for a position called the assistant manager administration position. So I'm really looking forward for that one because that was basically help my living arrangement much better because I'm kind of like living check to check, so I'm having kind of like a hard time.
Yeah. And when you talk about it, your energy, you just like lit up. I could see it from here. So
yeah, I did too.
There's something about that, whatever that position, whatever it involves, it's like it's going to tap into your beauty, into your light, into you'll just expand within the space of that.
Mm-hmm.
How beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm getting like the big thumbs up.
Thank you. I look forward to that. I'm really excited about that. I'm praying for it.
Yeah, let us know. You can go to our Facebook page, Your Time to Shine, and let us know how the interviews go.
Oh, definitely. I'm kind of on. See, I had made someone had made a post in a group, and that's how I got connected to you guys. I can't find directly your page. Should I ask that person? I think her name was Constance.
Keep Googling it. Or you can go to yourintuitivementors.com. We also have a website. And we're also coming to the close of the show. So, Shaka, thank you so much for calling in. And
thank you, ladies.
You can connect with us there. We have an email too, yourtimetoshine.com. And we have a class coming up next Wednesday. It's called Your Intuitive Connection. And if you go to our Facebook page or yourintuitivementors.com, we have the link where you can find the tickets. And we're really excited to share, to give you tools to play with so that you can tap into and access your gifts and have fun with what it is you do. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we will hopefully see you in the classes next Wednesday at 7:30 our time, Pacific Standard Time. So go to yourintuitivementors.com, and we hope to see you at the class and definitely next Thursday night.